Alright, hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, Tammy Talks here. Let's talk Black Ink Crew Chicago Season 7, Episode 12, Here Kitty Kitty. Are y'all watching this? Are y'all watching Black Ink? It's run its course, which we know. We know it's run its course. But we're gonna see it through because damn it, I've been watching it since the beginning. And I feel like this is the only way that I'm gonna be able to hold myself accountable to actually see the show through. So if you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns of various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video if you enjoy this particular piece of content. All right, so the episode starts off with Don. He's packing for a national bodybuilding competition in Orlando. You know that Don said on last week's episode that if he wins this competition, then he can now be considered a pro athlete and start getting paid for these competitions. So he's packing to go. The whole family's going to go, Ashley and the kids. Ford comes over. He said to give them, to loan them an extra suitcase. And so that, you know, little baby Forever, who is so adorable. Oh, Forever is cute. So that he can wish his Uncle Don good luck on the competition. Ford's bummed that he can't go because coincidentally, he has a show on the same day as Don's competition, which merges them to talking about how, you know, how they used to always be up in 9 Mag all day, every day. That was kind of like not only Ryan's dream and Ryan's life, but theirs too. But now that they have found other passions, found other things that they want to do in life, they're at the shop less and less, and they're seeing that the shop is still going on perfectly fine without them. So now they know that, you know, it might be time for us to kind of go ahead and, you know, have a conversation with Ryan about how we can kind of, you know, phase ourselves out even more. Ford then mentions how he wants to start making more music for the ladies, for women, because that is his biggest fan base. All right? So we switch over to 9 Mag. Dre is now an official member of the shop. Ryan gives her a plant as a welcome gift. Oh my God, I love plants. We pan over to Kitty. Kitty's FaceTiming Steven. He's talking about how this must be just a couple of months removed from filming last, but he's talking about how his time in Chicago and seeing how everybody was handling things, the good, the bad, the indifferent, how that kind of reignited a fire within him, and he's super excited to get his own shop off the ground now. Now, I don't know how this happened so quickly where Kitty and Steven are opening the shop together. It seems more like Steven is opening the shop, and maybe Kit's going to be his brand ambassador. Excuse me. I have no idea how that's going to work, but okay, because he's out there looking for spots, but she's not. It's a weird situation, but best of luck to both of them with it. Kit tells Steven that now Drea and Prince are both working at 9 Mag. So he kind of asks her, how is that going to work for her? Because she's really good friends with both of them. I feel like Drea, I won't say Kit's only friend in Chicago, but it might be like one of her closest friends in Chicago. Because they clearly kick it even when they're not filming. And Kit said that it's not a problem for her because she doesn't have the problem with Ryan. She said that Ryan has the problem with her. He then asked her how is Second City going if everybody's now at 9 Mag. And Kit said that that's not her problem anymore. The day she walked out, she chucked the deuces and she kept it moving. She then said too that she kind of hinted that she's not saying that after she left, Second City went up in flames. But when she left, Second City went up in flames. So basically, Charmaine kind of ruined her shop herself, which we know already. It's not a big secret or anything like that. Charmaine really just kind of ran that shop into the ground because she was going through things. She didn't allow the help that was trying to help her. And that was Charmaine's biggest downfall with the show, with the tattoo shop on the show. If you go to Charmaine's page, the shop is still going on. Things are going well for her. I mean, Bay Moss is like a $1 million business, I think now. So Charmaine don't need that shop. She don't need the shop. So we pan back over to Nine Mag. They're all kind of hanging out as they do in the tattoo shop on these shows. And CeCe walks in. And it's clear that CeCe just wants to be on the show still. Because, like, why are you now working at Nine Mag? CeCe signed a contract that will probably give her a couple of these little mini seasons. And because Charmaine has put her show off the air, they told Ryan, you know what that means, bro. You know what that means? She's coming over to work here. So let's create a storyline that she's going to come over here. So CeCe walks in and she like purposely speaks to Drea and kind of feels the way that Drea doesn't say anything back. My whole thing with this entire scene with like Four asking CeCe, why are you here? Drea asking like, what are you doing here now? And CeCe having, getting very defensive about it. I think it was a very valid question. Because the last time we saw CeCe, even just this season, was her talking about how the riffraff is gone. Her talking about how Charmaine was doing her wrong. This is the best environment. This is everything. This is whoa. Like they were the bad people. Prince and Kit and Drea, who were all saying collectively the same issues, they were all wrong. You're the one that's in the right, Charmaine. I think it's a very valid question. Why aren't you still at Second City? So CeCe kind of feels like no one should be questioning her. She was like, why didn't I get a warm welcome? Like, CeCe has this air of attitude about her. And then she kind of wants to act shocked when people give that shit back to her. So Drea and CeCe kind of go back and forth. And then Ryan has the audacity to be mad. You knew this was going to happen, though. You knew this was going to happen because you know that these two don't like each other. So the fact that you brought CeCe in with no warning to anybody, which I'm not saying that he has to give a warning. I know it's his shop. But you brought her in with no warning, no inkling about anything. Why are you shocked that everybody's having such an adverse reaction? Drea then says that she just wants an apology from CeCe, and I believe she's owed one. CeCe then apologizes for getting in business that wasn't hers. Because the biggest issue was CeCe came in the middle of the situation that all Charmaine's artists and Kit had with her, and CeCe came in and told them, y'all were wrong, y'all not showing respect, y'all not doing this, that, and the other. Completely negating what the real, or not even knowing what the real issue was. So that's why they had a problem with you, CeCe. It had nothing to do with anything else. It was truly the fact that you came in and got in a business and immediately took Charmaine's side on some I need to suck up type shit. So Ryan yells out for Shogun to nip it in the bud because Ryan feels that the issues that you had over there are not the issues that you should be having over here because he runs his tattoo shop in a very different manner. Don 4 and Ryan all go out for a drink. Don won his competition, so he is now a pro athlete. He can now get paid for his bodybuilding. These competitions. Ryan, Ford tells Ryan that he doesn't want to just tattoo anymore. Ryan is supportive of them in a very different way than Caesar was of Teddy when Teddy said he wanted to start acting. Caesar wants everybody to continue to work under him, to make him money, to do all this stuff under him. Ryan is supportive of his friends and wants to do, he knows that eventually they're going to want to leave and do something else. So he is positioning himself in his business in a way where he's not going to feel the strain of them leaving in such a grandiose way. So then we have Kit, Dre, and Prince. They're hanging out at Dre's new place. Dre is happy that she decided to settle on down in Chicago because she could have been anywhere in the world, but she's here with us. And it's like, okay. So she tells them that CeCe is now working at Nine Mag, and they both were just like, okay, whatever. Kit talks about London. She says London is starting to feel more like home. Kit is lost and has been lost since her mother passed away. She has been. And anybody that's been actually paying attention to these seasons, you can see that Kit is still suffering from the loss of her mother, but it's overshadowed by Charmaine's, because it's like nobody cares about the fact that Kit lost her mother too. Like that doesn't get brought up. Like Kit's mother died, I feel like what, 6 or 7 months before Charmaine's mother. It was very recently. So Kit is, I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't move over there, right? Maybe she needs to just go somewhere and start anew outside of the entire TV life. So Kit says that she's trying to get serious about her acting career, and Prince was like, acting is not tattooing. The two don't relate. Kitty said that it's hard for her to learn tattooing right now because she was learning from Steven. But with Steven being back overseas, she's not able to get that kind of, in-person experience and learning, tutelage, if you will, that she really needs. So Prince and Drea tell her that why doesn't she come to Nine Mag, and they'll ask Ryan if she can be their apprentice. Kit never looked like she was for the idea because she reminded them, I don't get along with Ryan right now. So later, the next day, we see Prince and Drea talking to Ryan. And the way that Drea was like slowly saying it looked like Drea was going to ask Ryan if he can be if Kit can be his apprentice. Because Ryan was looking like, I know that ain't what the fuck y'all about to ask me. He had this look that was like, I know you're not about to put me on the spot on these cameras and ask me that. But I feel like Ryan had a very good response to that. If someone's going to be working in this shop, one, I need to know how serious you are about it. I'm not saying that Kit is not serious about it, but he wants to know that you're dedicated, you're serious about it. And two, we have to get along. So even if the separate artists don't get along, you got to get along with Ryan. So Ryan said that he's not completely against it, but they also haven't spoken since they talked at the obstacle course. I believe they get along fine now because they've like posted pictures and you can see that they're like commenting on each other's stuff occasionally. But he said he's not against it. Let him think things over. Shogun has this little party. Ryan asks CeCe how things are going with Drea. CeCe says she hasn't talked to her, hasn't seen her, so Flora walks her over. They get to the bottom of it. Drea asks us, do you have a problem with me? What is the issue? CeCe said that she was just offended that Drea told her that her input didn't matter because she has not been tattooing that long. That hurt her feelings because she really looked up to Drea. CeCe, that's bullshit, and you know it is. That's bullshit. You came in trying to make a splash, trying to make a name for yourself on this show, and you got such an adverse reaction to not only the people on the show, but to the viewers, that now you want to backtrack. You did not come in saying that you looked up to Drea. Stop it. Stop it. But they decide to squash everything, and they decide to be cool. One thing I do want to mention that I forgot before is CeCe said that she's now at Nine Mag because just because she was riding for Charmaine and defending Charmaine doesn't mean that she agreed with everything Charmaine was doing. How does that make sense? So you don't agree with what this person is doing. You know damn well that a lot of what they're doing and saying is wrong, but you still gonna ride for them? Like, to no end, to no avail, CeCe girl. I hope this is the last season. I do. I hope this is the last season of this show. It's time. It's time. It has run its course. Ryan then approaches Kit, makes like a little joke to kind of break the ice, and then tells her they need to have a sit down and talk. We're not going to do it now. We're going to do it on our own accord. Let's just enjoy the night. Ryan and Kit still have unresolved sexual tension. You can tell that there were more feelings involved in whatever they had going on, aside from just sex, right? Because the way that they look at each other, they still have this like, which is I think why they still have the drama that's going back and forth. Kit tells him that they haven't been good in a while. Ryan asks, why is that? Ryan, you know though, because you got mad at Kit because she told you that you was looking stupid. You were looking like an ass for the way that you were handling that situation with Anthony. Kit then says that, Ryan called her goofy and a bitch. He said, I never called you a bitch. And I'm like, okay. They have this conversation. And Kit said that she doesn't want to come into the shop and have to humble herself and all this other stuff. And Ryan is like, what are you even talking about? Why would you have to humble yourself? And Kit goes straight DC because she's an East Coaster. And that's how they talk. They just have this like aggression in their voice that's not really intentional. It's just their cadence. And Ryan tells her, you're still like this all the time. Like you still always have your guard up. Kit says that she feels like if she does anything wrong, she's just going to be put out the shop. She doesn't want to be put back in a situation like that. She said that she doesn't want to hear, this is my shop, this is my shop, this is my city, I run this. And Ryan said, well, no matter how you want to phrase it or put it or think about it, this is my shop. This is my city. This is my brand. I don't tolerate insubordination. He runs a very well-oiled, structured tattoo shop now. It's not like when it was season 1 and they were in their, early to mid-20s and they were just, party all the time. So Kit said that she doesn't think that it's a good fit for her. She said that Drea wanted to do that. And Ryan tells her, I would love nothing more than for you to come learn in an environment with amazing artists from somebody that you're really good friends with. Kit, however, is scared that the moment she says anything to Ryan that he might not like, that he's going to fire her over personal issues the same way that Caesar and Charmaine did to her. And Ryan kind of feels like, don't judge me for what other people have done in the past. But I feel like Kit gets absolutely no grace on this show, whether from the other people, whether from the fans. Because like I mentioned earlier, Kit's mother died as well. We watched Kit's mother, her mother had cancer. I believe her mother had cancer. But we watched her mother have cancer. We saw those scenes between the two of them. Then we saw her mother pass away. We saw the funeral. We saw the aftermath of the funeral. We saw how broken she was, right? I mean, you lost a parent. I thankfully, knock on wood, have not lost a parent yet, but she lost a parent while being on TV. And yes, everybody can step away from TV. Got it. But she lost a parent. Then the guy that she was messing with was treating her like shit, Caesar. Then she lost all her friends. Then she moved to a complete different city, all for like the same shit to happen again. This all happened within what, like 3 years or so? I just feel like Kit does not get the same grace for losing a parent and possibly acting out the way that people are trying to give Charmaine. So it's a little odd because we see on the trailer for next week, her father is asking her, is she happy? Is she okay? And she's crying because she's clearly not. And I think I saw in like the extended trailer, in that scene, she's talking about how, she went to call her mom, but she couldn't. Like, there's absolutely no grace. Now, I do feel that, Kit, your time has run its course on this show, sweetheart. I do absolutely feel this. But I also, ultimately, I feel that Kit just does not get the same grace that everybody else is getting when they mess up or when they have an adverse reaction or whatever on this show. And it's weird. Nonetheless, the episode was just an episode. The show has run its course. If you guys are watching, let me know what you thought about it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.